Hello everyone, this is Everett with the Birding Voyage. Today I'm going to do an in-person update, channel update for the Birding Voyage. I've been wanting to do one for a while, I just didn't really have a studio or a place to film. So I have three little kids, as you've seen in some of the videos. And so it's noisy here at my house. So I created a little studio out in the garage and I just built this, and so now I have a place to do this. So today I'm just going to talk about kind of how the Birding Voyage started and what I'm doing right now, and then what the plans are for the future. And first of all, I just want to say thank you for your support. Thanks for watching the videos and for subscribing to the channel, and for commenting and liking the videos. So I really appreciate that. I've had a lot of fun birding and going to different places and editing and producing the videos. So first I'll start with just kind of my history with birding. So I grew up in Southern California for the most part. We moved around a little bit, but we moved back here when I was like 11, and I got into birding when I was 12 or 13. And first I was just into raptors, or birds of prey. So I had a field guide that a neighbor gave me, and I would just go out and look for birds of prey, and then that turned into backyard birding, where I put up some feeders and I put up a privacy blind and I started taking pictures, and that was a lot of fun. And then eventually I met someone. I grew up in an assisted living facility. It was like a big house, and the residents lived downstairs and we lived upstairs. And one of the residents, the son-in-law, was a birder, and so he took me on a few trips. We went out to the Salton Sea, to the San Diego River, and to the Brago Springs, out to the desert. So we did a few trips, and that's when I was like, wow, this is really fun, because we'd go out there and he'd show me, how to identify the birds and what to look for, and that was a lot of fun. And then so I birded for a few years, and then when I was 16 or 17 it kind of slowed down, and I still have done some birding. Like, I notice birds and I try to identify them, but I haven't really gotten back into it until a few years ago. So just a quick couple funny stories from growing up. So in middle school, just after I started birding, we went on this school trip up to the Renaissance Fair up in Orange County, and we drove this bus, and on the way back I was sitting next to this girl I had a crush on, and I was looking out the window and I was looking at all the, trying to find as many birds as I could, and I would tell her when I would see a bird. So I'd be like, oh, there's a red-tailed hawk or a white-tailed kite. And yeah, she wasn't that impressed, and I think that was the last time we hung out together. That's a funny story. And then in high school, in the schools down here in high school, they have these big central areas called quads, where everybody hangs out and eats lunch during the break. And one school year, must have been in the spring, some killdeers used the quad as a nesting area. And so I don't remember how it happened, but somehow I told someone, just as some information, that they were nesting there, and they ended up closing the quad and writing a newspaper article for the school about how I identified the bird, and the quad was shut down for a few weeks because of me. So that was pretty funny too. So anyway, so that's kind of that's my birding history. And then a couple years ago, when the world kind of got shut down, I got back into birding. My main work slowed down, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to get back into birding now. Our kids are getting a little older, and so I have a little bit more time. So what I first started to do is I got on my phone and I was like, I'm going to try to find a birding game, where I can start, practice identifying birds and seeing different birds, kind of getting back into it. And I couldn't really find a game on there. And so I was thinking, I'm kind of an entrepreneur. I like starting new businesses and running businesses. And so I was thinking it would be really fun to create a birding game when I didn't find one, and where people can travel virtually to different places and practice identifying different birds. And so that's where that idea came from, the Birding Voyage came from. So over the last few years, I've had a lot of fun traveling different places, practicing my birding. Obviously, I'm not an expert. I'm kind of an intermediate, I guess I'd probably categorize myself as. I'm familiar with the birds here in Southern California, but elsewhere, yeah, I still am pretty inexperienced. But I still really enjoy it, and I think a lot of people out there are beginning to intermediate, and so I think a game like that would be a lot of fun to practice birding in different places. So anyways, so over the last couple years I've been going places, filming. That's my bird clock going off in the garage here. It's funny. So I've been practicing my birding and practicing my photography. I also editing the videos for the YouTube channel. That was new to me, so I've been learning to edit and trying to improve on that. And now, so what I'm doing now is I just finished creating a website, and it's just a information website, but it does go over kind of the premise of the Birding Voyage experience or game that I'm going to create. I've already hired a software developer, so he's going to help me develop the game over the next few months. So I'm moving forward with that. Right now I'm going to give you a quick overview of the website. The website name is thebirdingvoyage.com, and this is the front page. Further down the page it goes over our mission and has a map. We're going to start with 2 locations, but hopefully in the future we'll build that out to have a lot of locations around the world. The expected release date is probably going to be late summer 2023. You can enter your email address at the bottom to get updates or ask questions or get involved. On the features page, it goes over a few of the features that I'm planning to put in there. This is just to start. We're going to be adding more over time. And then there's going to be 3 ways to get involved. The first one is to be a creator. That's where we partner to build different locations throughout the world, where the creators get the content and help build the levels. You can donate, and then we're going to have different levels for donors, and then you can also contribute your own photos and videos that we can add to different locations.